Hey everybody, Josh here from Android Central, and I wanted to take a look at an app that was recommended to me called Gravilux. Now, Gravilux is probably one of the hardest games for me to pigeonhole. It's definitely an app. I'm not sure I could call it a game because as far as I can tell, there's no objective. The way the developer puts it is that it's like a work of art, and it combines art and science and all these wonderful things. But as you can see, aside from my reflection, that we've got this grid here of colored dots. And essentially what you do with Gravilux is through touching the screen and using multi-touch, you can manipulate where these dots go. So, for example, I take my index finger in. If you hold, then you'll just attract them to you, and they'll swirl around, and then they'll bounce about. And it's really, really kind of interesting. And then once you let go, they just stop moving. Like you're controlling stars in a galaxy or something like that. And so if you go down here, same thing. Now you can do some really cool stuff if you do two fingers. They'll swarm around both and just bounce around wildly, and it's really quite incredible and beautiful and mesmerizing to watch them just bounce around realistically and then freeze in place. And then if you do three fingers, you can move them around and kind of drag, and the colors change, and it's just wild to watch. And you see, look like we've got this galaxy creation going on. Now it's really cool. You'll notice that I'm operating this rotated because I really wanted to be able to catch the whole screen in the viewfinder of the camera. If you go into settings, you can actually change things. Let's rotate real quick. You can change things like the gravity, and you can also change how dense the grid is. Now one of the really, really cool things is you can also change if you attract or repel. So if I choose repel, then you look like you create a gigantic black hole, and the space just goes out and out and out, and all of the little particles get pushed up against the sides and bounce around. But most importantly, what makes this application incredible is that you can optimize it for your device. So it will say optimizing for your device, and it will take your hardware into consideration so you have a great experience right off the bat. So Toshiba Thrive is running a Tegra 2, and it put a lot more particles on screen, but it didn't color them. So you get some really, really crazy cool stuff going on, and I'm dragging around and they're just following me. And then I said, well, I'd like some color down here, and you can pick your three colors. And I said, hey, random colors are cool. But then things started to really, really drag down. And so I said, well, the only way to remedy that is to make the grid way less dense. And then performance was perfect again, and just kind of blows my mind all over again. So, we rotate it back down, and this is it. This is this insane app that has no objective. It kind of reminds me a lot of Osmos HD that I played not too long ago. That was actually a game and had an objective, but it just had this really cool, beautiful soundtrack, and you could just spend hours just watching your space amoeba floating around. I feel like with the right background music and maybe the right substances, you could just spend unlimited amounts of time watching these particles either be attracted or repelled by your fingers, or just the madness and chaos that you can create just by touching the screen and watching them realistically bounce around as though you were some sort of master of the universe. Anyways, that is Gravilux. It is I believe $2.99 in the Android market, and if you're looking for something that's just a beautiful display of creativity and also shows off the hardware that you're running, I would definitely pick it up. One more time, it is Gravilux, and you can find it in the Android market.